Do you know what that elder claw is smelling right there? It's sniffing. It's sniffing something. What's it sniffing? I think you guys know what it's sniffing. It's sniffing another delay. Welcome back, guys, to a brand new video. Now, today is a bit of a follow-up from yesterday's video. Well, I say yesterday, it was kind of today's, but it was late at night, where we went through the new community crunch and basically talked about how Valguero has been delayed until October 7th. And obviously, it's very frustrating because... you know what? It's not even... is it even frustrating anymore? You know, if you're an ARK player, that's whether you've played for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 years, whatever, we're all used to it. And if you're a new player, get used to it, because things aren't changing around here. But today, I just wanted to talk about a few bits about, you know, like, of course, there's a lot going on in the community, and obviously we saw the fantastic launch of, well, not launch, but reveal of the Elder Claw, which generally I have given a lot of credit to Wildcard. We haven't tried the creatures yet, but of the uniqueness of the new creatures coming to Valguero, that's something I've really liked. I don't like when it's too samey, and I really like it with what they've done there. But today, we're going to have a little bit of a conversation, and it's to do with the delays, and I hope Wildcard still love me after this, whether they love me or not, I don't know, but if you guys enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe, and let's get in with the video. So, as I said, you guys would have seen, Studio Wildcard said they still need a little bit more time to get things right for the Valguero DLC, which will now launch on October 7th instead of September 30th. Now, pretty much today's video is to talk about how I just don't believe that Studio Wildcard have really fulfilled on their promises when ASA launched. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I did a podcast a little bit ago. It was actually quite a while ago now. You know, it's probably the biggest ARK podcast out there, because I don't think there's many others that do an ARK podcast. And you know, and one of them said to me, it was about how one of the things they were most excited with Ascended was that we were going to get better communication. And that was one of the things they were really upset about with Ascended in its first year, was that the communication didn't seem to be that, like, didn't seem to be better. And they said they were kind of going to work on these types of issues. And I guess with this delay, they've kind of let us know in advance, but still, it seems to be a reoccurring problem. Now, again, I know my moaning is never going to do anything to change the situation, and, you know, it doesn't get you anywhere in life moaning constantly all the time, but it's the fact that I had a lot of time to think last night, and I was just like, you know, there was a lot of promises with ASA regarding communication and regarding, you know, how they've learned so much from the first game and how things were going to change within ASA for the new game. And I know it's only a 1 week delay, and I'm sure they'll release it next week. But it's the fact that we're living in, it's like deja vu, you know, we're living in that kind of same lifestyle that we've been living over the last 10 years. And it kind of would just be a really nice thing to see Studio Wildcard actually make a change with how they do things. And I don't know if it's possible. I'm not a game developer, but one of the things I was really excited with ASA is to see a potential change with that. And as much as we, you know, Wildcard themselves make a little bit of a joke and a laugh about their delays and stuff, I just thought with this game there was going to be that chance that maybe one day we will actually have a date that will stick. And by the way, I know I have friends in game development. I know how hard game development is, and I know that when you give a date for something, unforeseen circumstances can happen at any point, at any time, and there's just nothing you can do about it in that sense of things. But I think when it comes to ARK and their constant delays, and Jeremy, the CEO, saying it's very, very much on time to launch on September 30th, I just don't seem to understand why they've not changed their model. Now, I love this game. It's meant so much to me for so many years. It's obviously built my channel to where it is today, and obviously the LoadedCrysis cluster wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this amazing game, and which has given me so many memories and made me be able to meet so many amazing of you, like so many amazing people, but also you guys as well. But I just feel like I would love one day to have that one conversation with Studio Wildcard, whoever it is, to explain why this always happens. You know, why do we always come towards a launch and we get so excited for it, but everyone is always expecting a delay? Like, why does this always happen? Is there not a chance that one day they could give us a date and they would actually release something on time? Now, I don't mind if it releases on that day, but they need a few more hours to cook things up or whatever they're doing. But it really, I always ask the question, why do other games? Why can other games do it, but Wildcard can't? And that's what's always gone around in my head for many, many years. And I kind of laughed and joked about it for a while. And yes, this is only a week delay. But then I get worried because I say it's only a week delay, but when it gets closer to October 7th, I always think to myself, but are we guaranteed to get it on October 7th? Who actually knows? And I do think we will, because they've given themselves that extra week to work on it. But it is so strange that for such a big company and such a big game, that over 10 years, they've not been able to figure out the major issue that has caused these delays. Because it is funny to a point, but then it comes to a point where it's just not funny anymore, you know. And it's like, because people, by the way, people have always booked time off work, and some people may say, oh, it's sad if you book time off work for, you know, to play this game. People love the game and people enjoy it, and they get so excited for launches, and that's what's always been so great about ARK. The community has got so excited for a brand new launch, but they're so used to this delay. And the fact is, I thought it was going to be said to come out, and I thought they were just going to do that thing where they might delay it one day or two or something like that. That's what I generally thought, but a whole week is just a bit shocking. But anyway, I have been here in so many different scenarios, whether it's Valguero, whether it's Ragnarok, whether it's Aberration, whether it's Scorched Earth, whether it's whatever map. I have always known that whenever I make plans to schedule for a certain week, I know that my entire life around that launch is always going to be mixed up, is always going to be messed up, because they can never get a date right. And I just hope that one day, you know, if you're watching this wildcard, one day that you guys could make that change. You know, I'm not saying that you're not going to delay something, you know, you don't have the right to delay something again, you know, but just one day, if you could try and get the schedule a little bit more bang on. Like, you know, if you're thinking, right, so if they're thinking I'm going to launch something on September 30th, but there's something in the back of their mind, but if this goes wrong, we may have to delay it that extra week. Why don't they just say that later week and try and then like, but aim for September 30th. So if they're aiming for September 30th, maybe try and surprise people and say, oh, we actually, I guess they can't release it earlier because that wouldn't work with their promotional stuff. Wildcard don't do much promotional stuff anyway, to be honest. You know, you never see TV adverts of a Valguero DLC. I'm not saying Valguero would get a TV advert, but you don't see much like trailer hype. They don't do pre-trailer hypes or anything like that. It's only launch trailers. I miss when they used to do announcement trailers. That used to be really exciting, but it's just like why does this always happen? And it's just been going around in my head constantly, like over and over again. Why is this the norm? But anyway, it is what it is. I can't see this changing really ever. And it would be nice just to experience a on-time DLC for once. But I just needed to get that off my head. But finally, guys, if you didn't know, I'm sure you know there's a TLC vote going on at the moment for the game. And when we last checked in the most recent community, well, not the most recent community crunch, but it was the, oh no, yeah, it was the most recent community crunch with the Elder Claw, where they say the voting hasn't really changed much. The gig is still way on top. I think we know that because of Syntax Vote, my video the other day. But if you haven't dropped a dono and you want to, be sure to do so on the LoadedCrysis Extra Life page. The link will be down below to go and support it, because it all goes towards the playing in support of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. All the money you donate goes towards the children, so it's a really good cause too, and I really support this. And also, it really supports me when you do it through my link as well, because it shows you what a powerful community we are. So, yeah. I think that is pretty much everything that I'm going to cover in today's video. I just felt a little bit kind of meh after this delay. I know it's only a week and it will be here faster than we can even imagine, but it was just something I needed to say, I think. And I'm sure I've said it so many times in videos in the past when they've done delays, but the same thing goes every single time when there's a delay. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.